Heyo, we are live. This is All Eyes on Cleveland, presented by, or brought to you by, the Browns Film Breakdown Network. Get over to brownsfilmbreakdown.com right now and subscribe. Just $10 a month gets you access to all of Jake's outstanding film work. It's worth the price of admission just there. Your all 22s offense, defensive side, comprehensive breakdown. You'll learn so much. We've got film rooms on just the rookies. We've got stuff on just Tillman. We've got stuff on, he's just a machine over there. Plus, you get your opening drive every day and your podcast. And of course, you have All Eyes on Cleveland here. My name is Brad Ward. That is the one and only Casey Kinnamon. Big Case Dog, better known as, is it Case Knows Ball now on Twitter?
You got it.
You made a social change, right?
Yes, sir.
What prompted that change, sir?
The rebranding, new season.
Rebranding.
Yeah.
I like that.
My name's boring, so figured to switch it up.
Okay, I like it. Case does no ball, so it's not a lie. What's up to the chat, Brett? I know that's UWFF behind there. James, good to see you here, brother. And I'm sure others will trickle in tonight as we are back doing it live on All Eyes on Cleveland. Browns are 0-1. We're mid-season, folks. Brutal one on Sunday. We will react to that quickly just because me and Case haven't had really a chance to talk yet. Jacob Roach, your hair's looking great tonight. Thanks, Jacob.
It's the first thing I told him when we got on.
Hey, man. I'm going bald, and I don't wear, whatever. It is what it is. It's a big week in my other job. Apple 17, iPhone 17 coming out. Pre-sale tomorrow. So.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Yeah. Busy week in that world.
I bet. The barbarians are at the gates.
They are. Which is good for me. Yeah. So, what up, Drew? Brick City. Good to see you here. Jacob, thanks for joining as well. And the kind comments about my hair, I guess. Browns lose 17-16 in heartbreaking fashion to the Bengals in week 1.
Yeah.
Boy, Case, they did a lot of what we wanted them to do. I thought that they acquitted themselves well, defensively and offensively, but they just, it's unbelievable at times, right? It's like we talked about, they just find a way to lose these games. I wish they could have started faster. They had some issues in the run game early. We'll talk about that a little bit more here in a few minutes, but I don't want to stay long on this because we've talked so much about this game and we're kind of on to the Ravens. Me and you haven't talked on the air since the game, so I want to give you a chance to give your thoughts on the Bengals game and, big takeaways, how you were feeling afterwards, how you're feeling a couple of days afterwards, and now as we head into week 2.
As unbelievable as this is going to sound coming out of that heartbreaking loss, I'm still optimistic. I was optimistic within hours of the game ending, to be honest with you, because a lot of the things that we set up for the game and what we thought could be for this team, we saw it in practice. We saw this is a very competitive team, offensively creative. Even the one thing that I would say offensively that was disappointing was they were not able to enforce their will in the run game. For me, that was paramount. That is something that has to happen going forward if they're going to compete week in and week out. And they really weren't able to do that. And it was not a lot of push up front, some missed opportunities in the running game from running backs. And at the end of the day, considering even with those struggles, they still moved the ball a ton. I mean, they doubled up first downs 22-11, 346 to 145 in the, yardage. Like, that's the recipe that they put on the field just for those stats. That's something you should win by 10 points.
Going away.
The way it was looking. So the conceptually, a big part of it for me is like what Harold Fannin Jr. was on Sunday. It was everything that I hoped that it could have been. And if you'd have asked me when they drafted him, man, I hope he gets there by the end of his rookie year. It's right out the gate. Like his usage is insane. It's
week 1,
16 snaps in the slot, 11 on end line, 3 as a running back, 4 out wide. Like you start to see that
quarterback.
Like, oh, yeah, this is what we were talking about, the alignment versatility and what it could mean for the creativity of a play caller. If you have a guy like this, and we know Stefanski loves 12 personnel, but he's never had a tight end 2 with this skill set. So like to see it in practice, like, okay, now obviously you're missing pieces. You got Quinshon Judkins back at practice. You start to envision what this could be offensively. It's cool. Defensively, what can you say, man? They held Joe Burrow to what was it, 7 yards in the second half?
7 yards.
7
negative.
Yards. Like, come on, man.
Negative 23 in the fourth quarter.
Like, but they did get off to a slow start. They were out schemed at the beginning of that game. But something we haven't seen in the past is sometimes when that happens, they never get off that. And when they get out schemed, sometimes it just snowballs and gets worse. They made the pivot, they made the corrections, they were able to get back on course and really control that game. Now this all boils down to 4 terrible plays. 2 missed kicks and 2 volleyball sets, and that's the difference in this game. And you lose by 1 to a team that. And coming out of it, the wildest thing to me is when I listen to the national media, they just see it as the Bengals had an off day.
Yep.
That's
no credit.
Watch the tape, dude. What they
it's
were
insane.
Them defensively is insane. And
dominant.
The Bengals will not have another day like that. They will not face another team that's able to do what we were able to do to them.
Oh. Joe Burrow said it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like, that's the best corner tandem in the league, in his opinion, or that they'll face all year. And they have the potential to be that. Greg played great.
Yes. Yes, he deserves, because if you're asking me things that I was worried would hold up through that game, that's probably one of them.
That's one of them.
And there was 0 issues. 0 issues. Greg didn't give up a catch.
Yeah. 2 missed kicks, 2 volleyball sets is how you put it. When you watch the 2 interceptions back, like closer, do you have any? I mean, where do you come out on that? Like, should they have been caught? Were they just fluky? How do you prevent? I mean, it is fluky, we know that, but is there a way to prevent that from happening going forward?
I mean, you don't normally have one of those a season, let alone 2 in the same game,
right?
But you're throwing as a quarterback, you're also throwing the ball to where it's your guy or nobody.
Yeah,
like I can't be mad at that, man. It's down in a way that's not in the ball's not in harm's way. Now the receiver put it in harm's way by their handling of it. And I feel bad for Tillman because Tillman had a monster game up until that point, and that kind of erased a lot of the goodwill. But you see the vision for what he could be for this team,
man.
But if you got to make that throw again. If you throw it down the way and as a receiver, it's your job, man. But go bail your quarterback out. Is it a perfect ball? No. But it wasn't like it was in danger and you had to make a contested catch against the DB. It was you versus the ground. So it's either you or nobody. And then the way that it bounced up both times, obviously, that's what makes you feel snake bitten at the end of the day, because those are very fluky plays and they both came back to bite you. But no, I don't have a concern with how the ball was thrown. I expect my receivers to make those catches.
Yeah. The first one I thought was more difficult.
Yes.
To Judy. Mm-hmm. I thought he had to extend further and just kind of barely got his hands on it. And then the Tillman one was more of a bobble.
Yeah.
I felt like it was right there for him. I felt like that was more of one he should have brought in, which is a shame because, to your point, he is one of the bright spots coming away from week 1. He was tremendous.
He displayed incredibly strong hands on that boundary catch, man.
Physical.
So when you see
his
that
route running, his hands, the one catch where he just keeps it away from his body, gets his feet in. He's just he's doing things that a big time receiver would do. He had a great game. So unfortunate there. Question. So You mentioned at the beginning, as we transition this to week 2, right? With the Ravens, that the Browns were unable to run the football. So obviously, the big thing here is that can't happen. You can't live in a world where Flacco's throwing the ball 50 times every week.
Yeah,
right?
I don't want him dropping back 40 times.
Just
feels like a recipe for disaster.
It is. And it kind of showed itself in this one, even though he didn't throw the blatant interception. It's just maybe you throw the ball that many times, some weird stuff's going to happen. You know what I mean? So you could say that. I mean, I don't think it's that crazy to say. But either way, this team is not going to win 10 games with him throwing it that many times. It's just not.
Yeah, it's too volatile of a. You got to control the variables you can control, but the running game does that for you. If you're especially efficient in early downs and you can manage it to get to 3rd and 3s and 3rd and 4s and live in that zone as opposed to having to pick up. And don't get me wrong, there were times where they were behind the sticks and they immediately picked up stuff in the intermediate. Now we saw this without actually seeing much of a deep game either. There wasn't much time to throw, so the ball was coming out quick. He was being decisive. He was spreading the ball around. But at the end of the day, man, if this team is going to be what I think it could be, it's going to be because you are a run-first team.
Yes. And it showed itself in the play action, run action stuff where you noticed that the Browns didn't take any real deep shots. Like they weren't there to be had because nobody was biting on that. Like there was guys.
Yeah.
Nobody was even flinching in that run game. You know what I mean? They were just kind of. There were plays where they could draw guys up and stuff like that. More of the run action when you have your linemen moving like it's a run play and everything, but where it's just the Flacco going back and they're getting into a pass set. Those linebackers weren't really.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, go ahead and hand it off. We'll be fine. You know what I mean? Kind of look. Which is not great because you need them to be pulled up the field to take some of those shots down the field. So even though Flacco I thought was very good, almost perfect at times, a couple the fluky plays and that's it. But you got to get some help there, right? Yeah. So the question is, how does this get fixed? Because me and Jake have talked about this. The offensive line looked old. Delpit does not move well. He's not good in the run game.
Yeah.
They just, Jerome Ford, terrible vision, no explosion. Dylan Sampson was 10 times better. Dylan Sampson was fantastic. And I even think they got like an extension of the run game.
Yeah.
Via the pass to the perimeter to him, you know what I mean? That helped them a ton, and they almost got away with it, right? Like, because of that, because he was able to make guys miss on the perimeter and get upfield a few times. He was great. And ran hard through the holes that were there, at least fell forward and got his 4 yards most of the time, right? So
I had the thing that I walk away from that game with him in particular. Obviously, we didn't know what to expect coming out of a unorthodox offense in Tennessee because he wasn't used as a pass catcher very much. But he took to it, man. It looked natural. The fact that Flacco went to him as much as he did just shows you the trust that he already has in him to make that kind of stuff happen. But that kid's contact balance.
Yeah,
unreal, dude. Unreal. He does not die easy.
No,
now, he's not a big guy, and that might shorten his career in the long run because he takes some wallops on those second hits after he gets that first wave. But it just shows you how dangerous he is in space. Because he can make dudes miss. He can shake and he can break loose.
The one play where he caught it on his shoestrings and then cut it up the middle. I mean, that's an elite level catch and run. Your rookies played fantastic. Fannin,
Yeah.
Sampson, Swesh, Mason Graham. Took him some time, but
Even Rocket in those short yard scenarios. I mean,
dude, he was getting 4 hands on him every play. Early, most of the game, he was getting double teamed, and still was able to create pressure and do his job. So, and then almost had a safety. Maybe should have been called a hold potentially in the end zone.
Yeah.
So, which would have been the difference in the game as well. Mm-hmm. So, the question is, does Judkins? All right, so Judkins now. Let's switch to Judkins. So we can kind of take Ford, and I don't know what you want to do with him. He's not going anywhere, I don't think. But for the moment, he should not be the primary ball handler. In fact, I would rather see, to the chat's point, I would rather see Sanders get carries at times. Yeah. But luckily, you're getting Quinshawn back. To what degree, I don't know. Him not practicing Wednesday, going to New York to meet with the league, and then returning today. You have thoughts on his availability, like what you expect? This is just some B-roll from today, him returning to practice. What thoughts on him returning? You expect him to play?
I don't have expectations for this week. I don't want to put anything on him. Obviously he's a full participant in practice, so they're getting to see what it looks like, and if they think he can give him some juice. But, obviously if you haven't been practicing since June, and I have no doubt that he's been keeping in shape and but that's different than football shape, and that's different than the sudden explosivity it needed to play that position. And the last thing you want to do is, have him pull something now, and then all of a sudden his season doesn't start for another 3-4 weeks. So right. If he does get to play on Sunday, I expect that to be a number under 10 as far as touches. But there's no doubt. I mean, there's a reason he was drafted where he was drafted. There's a reason he was RB1 going into the offseason last year. He's an explosive athlete who's kind of a do it all, man. It's short yardage. He's got breakaway speed. When you look at his metrics and testing, man, he's a mutant. I mean, that is. He's a type of guy that has all pro potential. Now you have to get him there. You have to acclimate him. What does that look like? For me, what I would automatically say, okay, what Ford rushed the ball 7 times?
I don't have it in front of me, but yeah, something like that.
In my mind, that's going to 10. But what kind of workload can you put on him? What does he know? What since June when he was there, and by all accounts he looked great when he was there, but how mentally in tune are you with what they are trying to do, and can you just be out there at any given time, or is it going to be very specific to when he's only getting the ball, or it's going to be delicate to see how they handle it, to be honest with you, because he's gotten such limited time with the team. But physically, man, he's the deal. So it behooves them to get him ramped up to speed as soon as possible, because you've seen this running game had no juice between the tackles. He is the juice between the tackles.
You wonder how in shape he is. You would like to think, like, I don't know if you can correlate these things, but how quickly they brought Bond in and got him into the mix in a major way makes you wonder if they weren't like back channeling plays and stuff to him, and he should be ready for some touches. You would like to think on Sunday, at least to get him back in football shape. I don't know what kind of conditioning or what, you don't want to risk injury, to your point, but at the same time, I would at least like to see him touch it a few times.
Yeah, man, acclimate him, get his feet wet. Obviously, it depends on what he knows and what he can execute, and how that fits in your game plan. But if I'm just looking at the touches that went to Ford, I could very easily just give those to Quinshawn and be completely cool with it. But I also don't want to put the expectation that he needs to do something right away. I understand that you just got back, and the last thing we want is all of a sudden him go out there and pull his groin, and we don't see him for 4 weeks, and then all of a sudden his rookie season is just kind of put off. It's already been delayed too much.
Yeah, I agree with you. You trust your trainers here, I guess, right? And you trust him to a certain extent, but I'm sure he's
Staley
going to want to play.
To know what do you know? What can you handle?
Yeah. I mean, the ultimate question is, I I think he would be like, yeah, I'm going to play. But a limited role where he feels like he can acclimate himself to a certain degree to the NFL game, and I think would you'd be better off going into week 3, even if he just gets a few touches. Like, treat this maybe like his preseason game.
Yep.
Can you do that?
Yeah, you absolutely
Safely?
can. Just use this as a ramp up. Now, does that mean you carry 4 running backs into this week? Maybe. That might mean you carry 4 running backs into this particular game.
You might have to.
Yeah, that's a very real possibility.
You might have to. So, but here he is back at day back, and I mentioned this earlier. Can he provide for an offensive line that played at times almost tentative, feeling like? Jake explained this really well. Like, he thought they played
to not get hurt.
Yeah,
no, Jake, I agree 100%. There was, and it's weird because it is a long season. I get self-preservation, but I don't look at it as a marathon. I look at it as 17 individual sprints, and you have to be able to, but when you're between the lines, you got to go all out. And we're asking a lot of these guys that are over 30, a lot of them with multiple injuries that kind of stack on top of each other. Obviously, with the contract situation with the offensive line, this is the last iteration of what we're looking at with this particular unit. But could Quinshon kind of revitalize that? Kind of, give him that juice. Like, you hear when they talk about Nick, like wanting to get to the second level, wanting the spring runs, and when you start to guys get gash runs, I think that gives the offensive line juice to come forward. As an offensive lineman, you want nothing more in the world than to run the football. Pass blocking is defensive, whereas you're offensive when you're running the football and you're coming downhill. And Wyatt has that kind of nasty streak. And Joel played fine. Like, if I'm looking at it as a whole, I think Joel probably had the best game out of all of them. But there is concern, just because of the age and the injury history of that unit.
Yeah. You wonder if Judkins can provide some juice, though, to your point, like what you said about Chubb. Like, we want to, like Pojich had a quote about Judkins and about how good he thought he was in the spring, right? And that they were excited to get him back. Like, can he provide a juice or like a kick in the ass to this offensive line as well? Like, we need to be better for this guy, potentially. Because you need them to go to another level. Ultimately, I understand self-preservation, but we need them to make the push was not adequate. And they need to be better than that. Not only this week, but just all season long. And if that means, guys have to miss a couple games here or there because of their age, you have Tevin Jenkins, you have Cornelius Lucas, you have guys there. You're better equipped this year to handle that depth than you have been in the past. So just play hard, try to get some push. Let's get this run game going. I mean, that's just where I'm at with it. It's a must. They have to start better, faster, find a way. I don't know if schematically you want to do some things differently. Probably, I would think a little bit.
You're facing this week. So that'll change a few things on its face, but this is a much more physical front seven.
Yeah,
in Baltimore than you face in Cincinnati. So you have to punch them in the mouth.
You're gonna have to. So Judkins being back for 7 touches, 5 touches, I'd be happy with. Anything else is bonus, but treat it like a preseason game. No, I mean, don't treat it like a preseason game.
Yeah, but we got to get his
for
feet
him.
Wet, you can't just throw him in the deep end of the pool. Now, maybe I'm wrong.
Him up.
I think that would be asking too much.
I think that's reasonable. I wouldn't be shocked if they were like, we're waiting another week.
Yeah, that's the reason I'm not putting any expectation on it, man.
Right. Yeah.
But perfect world, we see him for 10 plays on the field. Maybe he touches the ball 5-7 times, something like that.
to Brett's, point in the chat, 2 practices is a tough ask, right?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
right
extremely.
into a game week. So, didn't know I had hair, huh, Kramer? I've done the show many times without a hat on, so that shocks me. I think you're lying. I think you knew that I had hair, and you are fabricating, Kramer. I wouldn't put it past you for a second, right?
He's going to be making a spam bet any second now.
Mm-hmm. All right. So that's where we're at with that. I did want to get to the Bengals' start to this game in the run game.
Mm-hmm.
They were able to. They had a good scheme going a little bit. It was working, and the Browns were not bad. They were filling the right run, their run fits correctly, but it was leaving Denzel on purpose on a vacated side of the field where he was the extra body that had to come up and fill. And he was, not surprisingly, not eager to do so, and he wasn't firing into the hole, and he's not paid to do that. You know what I mean? We don't pay him $20 million to tackle, right?
Yeah.
At the same time, they exploited it pretty well. I mean, they were able to get good yardage, putting him as the guy that had to make the play in that run game and kind of isolating him nicely through scheme several times and got big runs out of it, or 7, 8, 9 yards out of it. And it led to 2 long drives, 1 touchdown, 1 they were able to stop. But do you think that, I mean, it's on tape now.
Yep.
The Ravens going to do the same thing?
I mean, they were going to either way before this game. But yeah, 100%. Why wouldn't you, man? We talked about it last week. Like, why don't they just have Denzel chase? It's because if you have Denzel just matched, they're going to put him in the slot and then they're going to run the football at him, and then it negates what he does. So, like, exactly. I mean, and this is, you're facing a Ravens team that's their whole plans come downhill. That is it. That's A and B. Everything else is tertiary. Like, they're going to be very physical and they're going to look to exploit what they can. That's just among them.
Yeah, they were able to do this without him chasing, right? They were able to do this with just knowing where he was on the
bend every
field.
run back to the right, and you know who's going to be in that vacated spot after you get to the second level. And don't get me wrong, these weren't chunk runs, but they were getting 6-7 yards a clip and just staying ahead of the chains doing that.
Right.
You know, and putting him in a vulnerable position. And we know he's willing, but that's not what he's there for, man. And we know that what happens if he goes to that too many times.
The head.
Yeah.
The head. I wish he was wearing a Guardian cap. Not that it would make a difference or anything, but I mean.
Yeah. It's a delicate situation. It's kind of weird to talk about when someone's got concussions.
Delicate situation. Yeah. It's hard to want to understand. You understand why he's not firing up in there.
Yeah.
He's done that in his career. We've seen him light people up on the perimeter and be okay, but we've also seen him get concussions just rolling over on the field like a normal football play. So at the same time, I mean, it's like, you
want to limit those exposures. That's the way I would put it. Limit those exposures.
Yeah. I wonder if they try to come up with a plan to do that. Do you I don't know how you do it, and they were just able. The Bengals were able schematically to just, go to the other side, overload the other side with, and keep him there. Bush, Schlesinger were still able to make tackles. They were just making them 6-7. To your point, 6-7 yards down the field. Whereas if they played the run fine. If it's Delpit coming up in that hole, it's a gain of 1 or 2.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I expect that to be. I mean, we saw a ton of 3 safety looks in that game. I think that you're going to lean on that this week. I think you have to.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a massive safety game for the Browns.
Likely, the only thing that changes it a little bit is Likely's injury status. We'll talk about it, but he's a DMP again today.
Mm-hmm.
Who's their third? Do you know? I can look right now. I got it. Do they use a third? I'm sure they do. Well, the other interesting thing...
Charlie Kolar and Zaire Mitchell-Payton. ZMP, baby.
Oh, so ZMP may be out there.
Mm-hmm.
And then, Ricard is the other guy that's dinged up for them. So those are 2, major blocking part of their run game guys. Not Likely as much, but...
No, but Likely's in the same... You just have to have bigger personnel on the field for him. So it makes you go jumbo when they're jumbo, and then you have someone like Ricard who's a 300-pound fullback. Like it's, they love to be the hammer.
Yeah. Injury report today. Batonio back full participation. Conklin limited eye elbow. Mike Hall limited knee. You think Mike Hall's going to play? I think one more week.
Yeah, probably one more week, but we're getting close, man. And we were able to do what they were able to do without him on the field.
Without him?
Buddy,
Can you imagine with him?
Yeah.
I mean, it's exciting. Defense is exciting. DeWand Jones, limited. Quinshawn, DMP, not injury related. Full participant today. Denzel still limited. Shoulder, and they changed it. Yesterday it said Achilles. Today it says ankle.
Say that again. Who?
Denzel. Yesterday, the injury report said shoulder, Achilles. Limited part, right? Limited part. And now today it says shoulder, ankle.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds more like it, right? So, yeah, I don't know. So, that's that. Jair Alexander, who had a rough week for them, back to a full participant. DMP 2 days in a row with a foot for Likely. Namdi, my name used to be Justin Matabuke, with the ankle. DMP Wednesday limited today, which means to me kind of screams he's on track to play probably.
Yeah. But even then, Aeneas Peebles is his backup, which is a perfect fit for them. Right. So they reload, man.
Patrick Ricard, fullback, calf, DMP. So Likely and Ricard are the guys there that could not play. It looks like everybody for the Browns will play. They came away relatively healthy from week 1.
The most healthy we've ever been after week 1.
Right.
In my memory.
DeWand Jones, hot topic.
Yeah.
Week 1, thoughts?
Not good enough.
Not good enough.
Not good enough. Now, is it not good enough to the point where if Jack would have been fully healthy, could we see Cornelius slide in there at some point? Yes, but you look at this in blocks, and for me, I know a lot of people look at it in like quarters, like 4. I'm looking at the season. This first game, this first block is like 6. If it doesn't turn around in the next 2-3 games, you have to start to think about contingency plans. DeWand's he's a fine pass blocker. He wasn't great in this game. He's also going against Trey Hendrickson, but it's what he can't do in the run game that scares you. It's very limited. It's so one-sided. And I was very hopeful that he, took his offseason approach differently, obviously dropped the weight. I was hoping that would, because he's such a good athlete laterally. Laterally, he's a great, phenomenal athlete. But vertically, when he's moving the vertical plane and when he has to push up, it's not there. And he feels top heavy and he's a leaner. You know what I mean? And guys just have no problem getting off those blocks. So it's very concerning. But, he's going to get the opportunity this week. He's probably going to get the opportunity next week. So it's up to him to turn it around.
Mr. and Mrs. Fumble in the house. What is up? both of you here. Good to see. Howdy to you. Hope you're having a wonderful evening. Kramer wants some confidence about this game. Hard time seeing a win anytime soon. Give me some confidence, boys. Well, I'll say this. You know, the Browns have split with the Ravens every year. In
the last 8 games, they're 4-4.
4-4. Last 4 years. So, they play them well.
Mm-hmm.
They do it. Not always in Baltimore, which is the issue. They've had some success.
This is the tougher of the two to get.
Yeah. Now they did get the one in Baltimore.
23.
Right? With was that the Watson miracle?
It was.
Pardon me, 4 miracle. Try to stay away from that name.
I look at it as the one time they pushed Jerome Ford for 20 yards.
Yeah. So, but they should be fired up. Both sides should be fired up because me and Jake talked about this, but I want to get Case's thoughts on it.
Mm-hmm.
The Baltimore Ravens are holding a 30-year celebration. They're raising the roof in this mother. You laughing at me?
No, I'm laughing at the situation.
They are celebrating 30 years in the league?
Yeah, 30 years
Is that
ago.
What it is? I haven't even read.
My heart out and move my team to another city. That's so they're celebrating that.
They're celebrating their 30 years in the NFL. They're bringing back all the guys. They're bringing back everybody, right? Including, and I think, aren't they honoring Ozzy especially in this?
Yeah, no, he's the honoree of the whole. So
the honoree of this whole shebang is
the man who played his entire playing career for the Cleveland
Browns franchise leading receiver.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you. So we talked about this, and I was under the way that Flacco, and of course Flacco, if he wasn't playing, would be there.
Well, they'd be honoring him if he'd retired a year ago. He would 100% be one of the guys they would be honoring. They should.
And this is his first time back since being a Raven, which is even weirder because he played with Jets and the Colts and us.
He played against them, but he's not played in Baltimore since.
Yeah, not in Baltimore. So this is weird for him. He seems excited about it more than anything. Yeah. When he was asked about this thing, he was like, they do these things. He kind of pushed it off on they have these things scheduled out way in advance.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and I was willing to listen to that, which makes sense to me. I was like, okay, maybe they didn't do this on purpose. Maybe they had this scheduled a couple years out or whatever. We're going to have this big day. It's going to be the home opener in 25. And then the NFL saw that on the schedule, and the NFL was like, we love the drama. And they put the Browns there because I don't put that past the NFL. So I was willing to put it on the NFL. But you're telling me this is on the Ravens.
Well, no, the blood's on the NFL's hands as well. But yes, no, 100% the Ravens. So they announced they were going to do a 30th anniversary celebration on March 29th. That's when they said they're going to do it. It makes sense. It's their 30th year that they've been in Baltimore, and they're that's cool. That's whatever. The schedule came out 46 days later. So when that schedule comes out 46, it's not like on March 29th, they reserved a date for all this. They don't know the date. They don't know if they're playing September 7th, the 14th, the 21st. They don't know when that date is. So it's not like they're like booking parades and.
But they could assume it's the week 1 or 2.
Yeah, or it could be 3. Some teams, it just depends on how it works out for each team.
Okay.
The way it worked out, they start off in Buffalo week 1, so it's week 2, and it's us. Well, 46 days after they made that announcement on the 29th is when the schedule came out. Now, maybe they got wind of it a few days ahead of time. So it's 2-3 days. Maybe they find out, okay, our home opener is going to be here. When you see it's who it's against, there is an opportunity there to pivot and to not be completely tone deaf to the situation. But they leaned into it. They and like, look, if you were to tell me, okay, so week 1 they're on the road, week 2 they're home, week 3 and 4 they're on the road, and they don't come back till week 5. They don't want to do it in the middle of the season. Okay, brother, week 3 they're at home for Monday Night Football. Monday Night Football. You're going to tell me that's not a better opportunity to celebrate your organization in prime time under the lights with all the hoopla, and you cannot sell me that nonsense. They leaned into it. And I can't expect the players to feel the way that I feel because they weren't 16 years old getting their chest ripped out. I get it. But understand this in this lingo, they scheduled you for fucking homecoming.
Mm-hmm.
But if you've been on a bad team, and you've been on a couple of teams' homecomings, you know what it is. Mm-hmm. They're leaning into it, man. And the fact that they're honoring Ozzy, like to me, it's so classless and tasteless. Do you think the Indianapolis Colts celebrate their anniversary when Baltimore comes to town?
No.
It's tasteless. And on this very program, I've said it numerous times, like I wish Baltimore was less competent. They're a very competent organization, the way they handle free agency, when they let go of players, the way they draft, they do all these, this is calculated, you know what I mean? And like, could they have in their heads, like, okay, the season opener, we're going to do it. But when that schedule comes out, or when you get wind of who it's against, you don't pivot then and there, especially when you see you have a Monday night game on the other side of that.
Yeah.
Like that is the move. Like 2019, we opened up with Tennessee, right? Well, we waited till week 3 when we had a Sunday night football game to honor Clay Matthews. I don't know if you remember that against the Rams.
Yeah.
They didn't do it the first time we played. You know what I mean? Like you look at the schedule and then you make those decisions. So from the time the schedule came out to this game was 123 days. You can't tell me they couldn't push that back 8 days and make all that stuff work. They leaned into it, man. So like my main takeaway when I look at the situation that they're cool with it, apparently. If karma is real, we're going to see it on Sunday.
Yeah,
so this is classless.
It is, and I'll give you that point. I didn't thank you for bringing this to the show because I had not looked at it through that light. But you're right on the money. And let's just say this: the classy move would have been to be like, we can't do this on Browns Week.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Somebody in the building had to say, guys,
you know what, guys, this is crap.
This is really tacky. Yeah. We can't do this on Browns Week. We're at home Monday night the next week. Let's do it then.
And do it big.
And whatever. And then we don't have to
slate with a bunch of other games.
And then we don't have to worry about, hard feelings and what's a really touchy subject for Cleveland people.
Yeah.
Really slapping them in the face with it. No, they were like, no, we're gonna take our towel off right now and slap them right in the face with the cock. Right? Yep. Like we don't care. We're just doing it. And so that's unfortunate.
Yeah, and like I said, I can't expect the players to feel the way that I feel because it's not to the player. It's not an insult to them. It's an insult to these fans, the fans that had this team ripped away. And for some people who don't understand, it was your parents or your grandparents or whatever. But like, I know what it meant to me and what it did to me. Like, so like it was like reopening a wound that I thought had healed. I swear to God, it's what it felt like when I heard their plans for when we show up to town. Like that's.
On a lighter note,
their fucking face. I hope it blows up in their face. Man.
I hope it blows up in their face too. How great would it be to go in there and win on this day? And I think that's kind of what was getting Flacco a little giddy.
Yep.
On a lighter note, Stephen Kramer's twin brother didn't know he existed. Patrick Kramer is in the house. My goodness. True. Are you also a lawyer, Patrick? I would like to know your profession. Yeah. He is also a lawyer.
Shout out to your parents. Just raising lawyers.
Look at
phenomenal.
This.
Phenomenal work.
Kramer 1 and Kramer 2. Kramer and Associates. Is that the name of your law firm? What? That's not what they do. They do Kramer Brothers and Associates, right? Fumble you're right. Yeah, I mean, we knew how classes they are. This is just another level, though. This is just like
turning a knife for no reason, man. You didn't have to do it. You had a way better opportunity to celebrate on Monday night. Like it's not even contestable, right? Like in prime time, how much cooler would that look with Ray and all those guys on the field under the lights? Like it's nope, not doing that.
Does watching other people eat gross food get you going, get you jazzed up, Patrick, like it does your brother?
Boy, it does, doesn't it? That's what gets them going.
It gets them going.
Got me going.
Yeah. Kramer spamming us.
Checks out.
Dude, yeah, I mean, it's fucking awful, really. Let's just be honest. He constantly brought up spam, said Patrick. Well,
me too.
Yeah, we knew that. So, weird obsession there with spam. I don't know where that comes from.
It paid off, though. It paid off for him.
And tomatoes. Oh, my gosh. This has to be... What? How does Patrick... What? How does Steven's brother know about tomatoes? And you, Casey?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I talk too much. I should probably keep some things reserved.
Generic spam. My God.
What? So spam's like the top shelf version of whatever that is?
Yeah, I mean, how can you get generic?
And whatever?
I thought spam just stood for generic. He watches. Oh, he watches the show. Okay, so he knows that you're
glad to have you, man.
We
appreciate some entertainment. That. Hopefully my pain.
They're lawyers. They're prepared. Yeah, they are. So this classless mess from which you've have me back on this thing now, as feeling kind of rather hurt and upset. Not hurt, but just
it's a dirty move, man.
It gets you. It gets you stewing a little bit, and then you bring the trash talk into this thing where you've got Delpit, who is, I love it. How hard is it to tackle? How hard is it to tackle Derrick Henry? Not hard, he said. And then, when we flashed, we both immediately went to the small.
Yep, too small.
Did the too small signal. Hopefully he breaks it out on Sunday after he tackles him. But the trash talk, was there more trash talk than that?
They asked Henry about it. Henry acknowledged that he heard, and he said, "We'll see you on Sunday." But were the Ravens not going to run the football before he said it? They were going to do that. Was their plan?
No. Yeah,
you know what I mean. So I don't mind the confidence, man. Delpit knows you can take him in the hole. It's and it could have backfired. Absolutely, it's Derrick Henry, bro. Like it's a savage. But to have that mentality that you can end that, like I'm cool with saying it. Like I said, their whole plan was going to be to run downhill at us. So just show you're not scared of it. You're prepared to meet that with force.
Oh, their whole plan is now to celebrate their 30-year existence and take your best receiver ever and honor him in their colors while you're in town to watch. It's a shame. I wish somebody could go and talk. It would be a smart move. I don't know if he has it in him to do this. Wouldn't it be intelligent of Stefanski to get somebody who this gutted in the organization to come back and talk about this to the team? Like, this is what was going on. This is what happened. This is how it went down.
There's documentaries about it, dude. You could show the cut
I know.
Up. You could show a little cut up, and then have someone talk about it.
But they don't know. I don't think they get it.
But no, most of these guys weren't even born, and if they weren't from a region, and it doesn't touch their lives,
it doesn't. they're not impacted. But like, you could make them understand the history here and how classless this is.
Yeah, slap in your face, man.
That's enough bulletin board material right there to get them going.
I would hope so. But at the end of the day, I feel like they're probably because of the parlance of our times. I think they're more insulted by the 11.5 points, which is okay. If that's the motivation you need, I'm not going to get in your way.
Whatever it takes.
I think that speaks more to the point to them than what this is for us as fans that had to experience that.
I think some of them it would hit hard if you showed them like the meaning behind like.
And if you had a legend come in and explained, what that was, man.
Who would that be? I mean, it could be anybody, but like Leroy, was he on that team?
Yeah, Leroy was on that team. Biner was on that team.
Biner was on that
team. Steve Everett. I'm just thinking of the guys I saw that were gutted on the field that didn't want to leave the field, and there's just it's so messy.
Somebody from the front office that maybe didn't get their job retained when they moved. Whatever.
No, you can have Bernie talk about it, man. Like
Bernie,
someone who's in touch with the situation, but I don't know if those things mean anything to today's players. I don't know that.
You show the clips, them going around and the tears and the, but I get it may not resonate with all of them, but it would resonate with some. Everett, that would be. I think it would be worth doing.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
100%. Like they're doing this.
You have to spend at least 15 to 20 minutes on this in a team meeting of what this really is, what you're being set up for here.
Do you realize what they're doing here?
Yeah.
This is
you got scheduled for homecoming as an NFL team.
Right. This is homecoming.
You should take offense to that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, 11.5 is a number I did not see coming after week 1. I don't think anybody watched this game outside of.
I know, man.
Right?
Yeah, and
I mean, you can even look at the yardage and stuff. Like you could even be a box score. Commentary and to be like, man, the Browns dominated the shit out of this game just by looking at the box score.
Time of possession, yardage, first downs.
And not say anything nationally.
The Bengals just had an off day. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, how is that the takeaway?
No, but there's no nuance with this, man. It's and I was talking about this in the Slack earlier, and it's coming off last season. I get it that we're not the popular team, but like if you tell me what your criticisms are of our defense, right? It can't be that they're the Browns. Like you can't know whether they're the Browns. There's nuance. There's like what about this roster worries you on this defense? Like where's your apprehension? I follow several people that I trust around the league that cover the league as a whole, who usually do a very good job about being unbiased and evaluating the ball. Even their helmet scouting at this point, saying, well, it's just the Browns. It's like there's no nuance in that, bro. Tell me where your concerns are, and I'll listen. And if there's merit to it, I'll take it in. But like we saw what we saw, man. We got linebackers that fly. We got defensive line that is off the hinges right now. You got 2 sticky corners. You got Grant Delpit in the back. Like this is a very, very complete defense that's going to get better. They're going to get Michael Hall Jr. back. These guys are going to, and these younger guys are just going to get better. They're going to get more experience. Carson Schweshington looked like a bullet in his first game. Like he looked like he's already a 5-year vet right now. Like you wait, what does that look like in 6 games? It's to me, it's you ignore it as long as you want to. But you at the end of the day, you're not going to see anyone put the screws to Cincinnati the way the Browns did. You're just not going to see it.
Do you see it?
You got to make that face. If you don't make a little bit, you got to get a little bit to you. Same chin. You don't have the scowl though. Those eyebrows are. He looks angry. Gunter.
All right, worth the look. Thanks, Kramer. I could have shown this picture. Hold on. The first one that I brought up was I was like, whoa. Whoa, what's going on here?
I don't know what's going on.
Hold on. Yeah, that's not right. That's incorrect. This is the first one I brought up of Gunther here. Hold on. And I was like,
I've seen this character. I don't follow wrestling. I did when I was a little kid. It's been a long time since I cared about it, but I've seen that guy before.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, this is really insulting. But then I found the other picture, and I was like, oh, that's a little bit better.
Yeah, it looks like a badass.
Yeah, but I mean,
no, that's not intimidating.
That's not a tremendous look at all.
No, that looks like some guy that'd be wrestling at a bingo hall.
Yeah, I don't look like that, hopefully. He's skinny now, said Kramer. Well, okay, thanks. I was like, oh, wow, that's a slap in the face. You need to lose some weight. All right. Anyways. But the scowl one, yeah, I can see it. That's how the Baltimore has me feeling.
Oh, man. I honestly thought I had healed from that moment until they announced this. And I don't know how this slipped under the radar until this week to me that this was what was happening. But
yes, breasts.
I was instantly pissed as soon as I heard the plans.
Is that Gunther? Where? All right. Yeah, so I get it. There's every reason to be pissed. Yeah. I mean, all right. Line of scrimmage has to be better.
Absolutely.
Early. They have to start faster on defense. And then because they're gonna run the ball for some success. It's just they were almost unstoppable until the end of the game against the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
The Browns should fare better. I would think than the Bills defense, right?
Yeah, I got better overall personnel, but for me, it comes down to one thing, and it's discipline. You have to stay disciplined in your run fits and in your pass lane integrity. And that means you're still going to get gashed. They're a very talented team. You're still going to give up a few. But if you look at what Baltimore was able to do to Buffalo, they had 8 plays of over 20 yards. You got to cut that shit in half right away.
That can't happen.
That's got to be happen right away. But
Lamar escaping for 20.
But you have to stay disciplined because the second you try to come outside yourself to do more is when they really get those plays. So it's just stay disciplined. And if they get 8, they get 8, man. They're dude, it's Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson. They're going to get there. But just stay disciplined and stay the course. Keep your rush lane integrity. And at the end of the day, you got to be stout as possible early downs against them.
How many points do the Browns have to score to win this game?
We talked about this last night, and the number that kind of came up was 27, 24 to 27, kind of being the sweet spot.
Yeah,
but it's
which I think is doable. The Bills went all over them. I mean,
100%, man, 100%. Now, don't get me wrong, that's Josh Allen. I'm not trying to act like we have Josh Allen.
No,
but there's opportunities to be had.
There was plays to be made even more than I mean the Browns 22 first down should not net 16 points. It should net you 27 points.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, that kind of yardage, those kind of first downs, that time of possession. And if you look at where Baltimore was softer, their DBs didn't look good, man. Marlon Humphrey was banged up. Jair Alexander's been banged up for a few years now. He don't look like the same player to me.
Not the same guy.
Kyle Hamilton's a problem. That's a legitimate problem you have to deal with. Roquan still got some juice. I'm not sold on Trenton Simpson. Their front, Travis Jones is a hell of a nose tackle.
Yeah.
Got a BK if he's healthy. Aeneas Peoples behind him. Van Noy can cause problems. They have things across the board, but there are areas you can attack. It's about just keeping your head above water and starting fast.
Yeah.
I think that's what it comes down to, is starting fast, because Baltimore's a team that once they get the lead, they're very good at playing with. They're great at being the hammer, not good at being the nail. You got to put them on their back foot, and it's going to take a full team effort. And then the sad reality is, you could take the game the Browns played against Cincinnati, make both those kicks, and not volleyball set those passes, and that still might not be enough to get it done against Baltimore. That's just, they're a very, very good team, and you're playing at their place.
Yeah.
But it's going to take that kind of an effort. And the one thing that I keep coming back to is this defense has to force turnovers.
They're gonna have to have
in this game. You have to be on the plus side of that ledger, or I don't see a way to come home with a win.
Neutral isn't enough here.
I don't think
you
so.
need to be positive. Yeah. I'm with you. They should have opportunities, though. I mean, Lamar gets sloppy with the ball at times, and you have talent over there, but you can't be dropping picks and stuff like that when they do make those mistakes, right? So I'm with you. Got to be on the plus side of the ledger there to win this one. Yeah, pick on Jair for sure. Confidence is down, not playing well. You've got some receivers in Judy and Tillman that can do damage. So, yeah.
And this might be a playbook emptier. You might have to go throw some tricks at him.
Fannin and Njoku.
Yeah, even Bond. If you got something up your sleeve, let's roll it out. Let's see what's what.
I was shocked to see the way they rolled Bond out there in front of Thrash.
Before Thrash. Yeah, that was very surprising to me as well.
Shocking.
But they had a plan. They were into the kid. I get it. If and there's no tape on them, so you're trying to catch someone with 1 foot off the merry-go-round by put him in that position.
I talked a little bit about this, but the way that how quickly they transitioned Bond into everything and had him involved makes me lean more towards, like, they've been in touch with Judkins. They've been making sure he knows what's what offensive-wise. He's been in the playbook. They've been on Zooms with them, whatever, and maybe he does play more than we expect on Sunday. But that's just based off of the Bond situation.
Yeah, but that's based off evidence. You have evidence that presented itself, so you can formulate.
We had no idea they were in on this guy.
No, I was borderline. He might be inactive or active. I didn't know how they were going to handle Bond.
Yeah,
he didn't know he was active. He was part of the plan. Like,
yeah, we didn't even know that he was on their radar, and they were following every step of his legal process. The day he was dropped, he's writing a letter to Haslam. They knew it was in the works. He's in here the next day, fully guaranteed contract. He's in practice, and now he starts basically.
Yeah. So there's definitely a path, that they've shown. All
right, we asked all off season about nickel. We got to go through the numbers.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what I thought, and you tell me what you thought. So Miles Harden drew the start as the corner nickel. Now, they played a lot of big nickel, too. Yeah. And the guy that got the responsibility, Delpit. Delpit drew, played 52 snaps total. He slid into the slot and played 17 snaps of slot coverage, sometimes against Chase and Higgins, had to man up against them. So, thought he did well there. Cam Mitchell only played 9 snaps. He was targeted 1 time. According to PFF, for a catch and run of 20, Jake said don't put that on him. It wasn't really his fault. So they did bring him in when Ward was getting exposed at the end of that first drive because they needed somebody else to try to run up in there and make a tackle. But Harden started the game on the field in the nickel. He played 19 snaps. Now he was targeted 3 times for 3 catches, 31 yards, but he did have 3 tackles and a stop. He stuck his nose in there in the run game, which, he's a little guy.
Yeah, he's feisty. It's a feisty guy.
And I thought that one of those catches was the throw by, it was a 3rd down in the first drive maybe. And Burrow was one of the better throws he made all day. It was to the second in-breaking route. And Harden was on his back. I mean, on his back and he just put it right on his hands. There's
Yeah.
nothing he could do.
Yeah.
I also saw him cover Higgins out of the slot on a long post route where he was blanketing him. There was nothing there. So he had his moments. I mean, it wasn't an issue, right?
And if it's not an issue against Cincinnati,
Yeah.
you feel pretty good about it. That's the best
Yeah.
passing offense. I know obviously they didn't have the kind of success, but that's personnel-wise, you're not going to face a better passing offense than that group right there.
Now, a lot of that was because the defensive line was so effective. Because if you go back and watch, like, there was a lot of times that Burrow just couldn't get to the open guy in the second half.
Yeah.
Like, where Yeshivas was open a few times right off the break, and he never got there because the pressure was just
there were
in
bombs
his lap.
exploding all around him, dude. He was
Yes.
it was just chaos.
So that needs to continue. But he won't. Lamar's good, but he's not Burrow processing good.
No,
as far
Burrow's an anticipatory thrower, where Lamar's a spot thrower. He's just going to throw to a spot. Dude, I like Harden, man. I think that's the perfect first game again. To get your feet wet in the situation. I look for similar usage. They're going to put Flowers there a good bit, man. Flowers will see a lot of. They'll move Flowers around. I mean, he's not going to. They're going to have him all over the formation, but like
he did better than I thought, and he's much better than Mitchell at this point.
And he's a plus against the run. I know he's not big, but man, that dude he cuts down.
He's not big, but he don't care. He throws his body in there.
On here, I think he has the attributes. He could be a nickel safety, where a guy who plays safety and nickel, and kind of live in that world, because he really does. He cuts down nice. He has no problem closing down and eliminating ball carriers. He's feisty at the catch point. I like it. Given the other options at corner, I am glad that they went with Harden. I think that's a prudent decision.
I thought he earned it. I thought he earned that in camp, but like I didn't know how he would perform in the game, and he acquitted himself well, which was one of our biggest feared things we were concerned about.
Sure.
The other thing is that I didn't expect them to go Delpit 17 snaps in the slot either. I thought it would have been somebody else. Whoever, right? Like there's sprinkled snaps. Who? Jenkins? Yeah.
I would have thought Jenkins would have drew the majority of the safety.
One or two snaps in there, but like he wasn't on the field all that much.
No.
It was mostly Delpit, Hickman, and who am I not thinking of?
Casey. He didn't get that much run either.
No. I guess it was Jenkins some, but he just wasn't
not in the slot.
So but they when they went to coverage or they were in man, it was Delpit, and that's because of sometimes it was a tight end, but a lot of times it wasn't. And Delpit plays. I mean, he ran right with Higgins on one of those long routes, and so obviously they trust him in coverage more than I expected them to. So.
Yeah. And it might be something you see going forward. Now, we won't be able to tell this week because I severely doubt that Isaiah likely plays. And if he does, it's going to be at a very limited role. But if he was a full go, that might be the move, right?
That would be the assignment, right?
That would be the move.
Because they do a lot of that big slot stuff with him, like we do with Fannin and so forth. Fannin was everywhere. I mean, you never know where he's going to line up. But Fannin blocked better than I expected too.
He's always been willing. The problem in college, like obviously, he blocks with a narrow base and run, and he leans. But this is all being cleaned up. Fannin came into college as an athlete. He didn't even really have a position. He was playing wildcat quarterback as a freshman. But you see his skill set, man. You gotta. I mean, it just makes me so happy because it was everything that I thought it could be, and the sky's the limit, man. I just can't wait to see how the playbook unfolds over the next 8 to 10 weeks with this guy, just his alignment versatility and your ability to create mismatches. And then I started actually getting giddy thinking about actually running effective 22 personnel where you can put Sampson and Judkins on the field at the same time with Njoku and Fannin, and between Sampson and Fannin, just creating endless mismatches. There's a lot there, man. A lot to like.
There is. There is. So Kramer, I'll tell you this, and he makes a good point. He's like, the Browns are in a scary spot because of the outcome, right? Because it's Ravens, it's Packers, it's Detroit, it's Minnesota, it's Pittsburgh. And I get that. Let's just take 1 week at a time.
That part.
If you go 0-2, I'm not freaking out.
I get blown out, I might have a little more reservation, but good.
Yeah.
As long as it's competitive and you're showing that you're with it, man. Like this first 6 games, man. Green Bay, Detroit, Minnesota, and you come back to the Steelers. If you can finish this block at 2-4, I know it sounds terrible. It won't be terrible.
Give me 2.
You get 2 or 6, man, and the schedule opens up.
You can be alive going forward. You could run
you come back to the Dolphins and Patriots before your bye. And look, man, Detroit didn't look great. I know Green Bay's getting a lot of positive momentum right now, but they're playing right now, right? They should be kicking off any second.
Yep, they play Washington tonight.
Minnesota was a mixed bag the other night. They look like world beaters, you know. I'd rather play Minnesota earlier in the season than later. If JJ gets his legs, they could be more dangerous later. But like, this isn't.
I don't look at those teams as unbeatable.
Exactly. That's exactly where I was going, man. But it's one game at a time. It's 1-0 every week. Now this is in my opinion, of the first 6 games, this next game is the toughest. It's in Baltimore and it's against Baltimore. I mean, they are good. I wish I could say they weren't, but
I think they're better than the 3 teams in the NFC North for sure.
If they were to play the Bills again, they'd be favored.
Yeah,
I know they lost, but like just for what it's worth, man, like they're
fluky. Yeah,
yes, they're a very good team. It doesn't mean you can't beat them. And if you do beat them in Baltimore during this little celebration, the shindig they're throwing,
oh, so sweet. Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss for sure. All right. So there it is. As we look towards Baltimore, a monster week. All right, let's do this. Before we get out of here tonight, fall TV coming up, Case. Let's take a look at what you got. Anything going on in your television life?
No, just same stuff. Peacemaker.
Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, it's so ridiculous. I love, but I'm here for it. I'm here for the ridiculous. I'm here for rated R stuff. But outside of that, I didn't get anything this week. I had pneumonia over the last week, so there's a lot of sleep when I could get it. A lot of cough syrup and a lot of sleep. Which, for the record, thanks to everybody for the well wishes. I can breathe now. I've only had to hit the mic a few times to mute the cough, but I'm doing so much better than I was this time last week.
Did you say you were watching this Untamed show?
We got a couple episodes in, but me and my wife's schedule didn't link up this week, and my wife's actually headed up to Ohio this weekend, so I won't be getting any more in this week. And then next weekend, I will be in Ohio for the Green Bay game. So
I know.
Mm-hmm.
It's marked on my calendar. Don't you worry about that. There's a show on HBO.
It's got Mark Ruffalo in it?
Yep.
Because I'm interested.
It's called Task. And it is Ruffalo and what's his name? Is really good in it. Damn. Hold on. Yeah, it's called Task. Tom Pelphrey? The guy with the beard. I guess I thought that was somebody else, but his name's Tom Pelphrey. He's in something else I know him from. He's kind of a rough-looking guy. He's got long hair. This guy. Hold on.
If you can show me a picture, I could probably throw Hail Mary up.
Yeah. Hold on.
That name's not ringing a bell.
It's not.
And I speak actor.
Zook asking if anybody is. Yeah, Task has begun. World's Fastest. I watched the first episode. It's out.
It looked good. The trailer looked really good, and I'm excited for Alien Earth. I haven't gotten to get. It's on my list of things to do Well, I still have Hulu.
Yeah, Alien Earth. Is that on Hulu?
Yes.
How do I get? All right, there we go. Hold on here. Share screen. Dude, that just goes right up there on this one. I can't even control that thing. All right. Multiple trailers. Where's this I'm trying to find which guy it is. I'll show you. This guy in the picture right here. Who is that? It's Tom Pelfrey.
I can't tell from that at all. Looks like Shia LaBeouf in that picture.
Yeah, well, can you see there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's from something. What's he in? I'm going to look it up.
Is he in Banshee?
No.
See the dude with the neck tats?
He might actually.
Yes, he is. That's the
He
dude from
is.
Banshee.
Yeah.
He shows up as the deputy who's like a former neo-Nazi.
Yep. He is the cop. Brother. Yeah, he's awesome.
Okay.
There he is right there.
Tom Pelfrey. He's amazing in Banshee, dude.
Yeah, there he is in Banshee.
He was great.
He was terrific, yeah. Yeah, so he's very good, though, in this show.
I agree. I've only seen him in one thing, and he was amazing in it, so I'm willing to buy that.
He was in Ozark, too.
You know, I've never seen Ozark.
Are you? Oh, that's
terrific. Dude. Yeah, that's what I hear. Yeah. There's a new Jason Bateman movie on Netflix, like a Black something. Not Blackbird, that's something else. I can't remember the name of it.
Dude, that guy is in everything. Who do we talk about? What's his name? Guy from Blackbird that just did Smoke, which I finished, which was amazing.
Paul Walter Hauser?
No.
Oh, Taron Egerton?
Yeah, that Edgerton. He's in another movie or another show coming out. He's in like everything right now. He's very good though. Way underrated. Smoke was great. How do you spell it? Edgerton?
Taron.
O-N? There it is.
Yeah. Axie from
Kingsman, Rocketman, Smoke, Blackbird.
That's with Paul Walter Hauser and him.
Yeah, that was She Rides Shotgun. That's the other one. Yeah, this is this new one. That looks pretty good.
One of my favorite things is when young actors who they try to typecast as a leading man kind of goes off the beaten path and takes on like darker roles.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like to expand like what they're capable of, and not fall into the trope of just being the leading man.
Yeah, kind of what he's doing.
I love it. Oh, good man. Like, Gosling did it. Like there's several actors that I think are underrated, but they've shown range. That they wouldn't have had that opportunity if they had just do what the studios want them to do. They would just make hits and blockbusters. But like,
they
do gritty real movies.
They'll lean into a grittier movie or a more independent film.
Mm-hmm. Pattinson did that when he came off Twilight. He did all kinds of like weird offbeat stuff that's awesome. Because I didn't take him serious because he was in a sparkly vampire movie, and then I saw him in like Good Times, and it's like, oh, okay. We can do this thing. We can act.
Yeah, but he's been he was so good in Smoke and Blackbird.
I'd be willing to watch that Rocket Man movie where he plays Elton John. Like, how do you pull that off? Like, that's a hell of an assignment, playing Elton John.
He got pretty jacked for this movie, though.
Yeah. He can sing, man. He was in the movie Sing. He plays Johnny the Gorilla, and he's got pipes.
What else is out there? Anything else, chat?
And I can't remember the name of it, but the show that Jason Bateman's on Netflix right now. That's another one I'm trying to get into.
Bateman.
Yeah, the dude from Ozarks.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking it up here.
Teen Wolf 2, Jason Bateman.
Are you being serious?
Yeah, he was in Teen Wolf 2. He was Pepper
Oh.
Brooks in Dodgeball. Bold move, Cotton.
I know that. I meant like you were talking about the new show.
No. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the name of it is. The
Black
trailer was pretty
Rabbit?
gritty. Yes, I had Black part right. I was like Blackbird. No, it's different. Yeah, Black Rabbit.
Oh yeah, this does look tremendous.
Yeah, looks like I want to get into that. So
who's his brother in this? It's him and his brother. Who is that? And once again, I'm not sharing the screen like I should be.
It's all good. I don't know off top. I know I saw the trailer and I was like, I'm in. Oh, it's Jude Law.
Yeah, Jude Law. Looks great. So yeah, looking forward to that one too. Good call, Case. Yeah, he's in a bunch of trouble for money, gambling, something. But yeah, it looks really good.
Have you ever seen the movie Bad Words?
Bad what?
Bad Words.
Words?
Mm-hmm.
No.
With Bateman. Watch it sometime. Watch the trailer and see if you find a rated R trailer version of it. See if you'd be into it.
I don't think I have.
Yeah, it's maybe a 2011-ish movie. He's like an ex-disgraced spelling bee champion with the foulest mouth. Dude, it's hilarious.
Interesting.
Yeah, I like Bateman.
Case, what did you think of episode 3, season 2, Peacemaker?
So out there. It's so out there, and they really haven't done the reveal of like what even universe they're in right now. I'm not going to get to watch it tonight. I'll have to catch up over the weekend to get through episode 4 by the end of the weekend. It's tremendous, though. I don't know. It's definitely an acquired taste. You have to be into some ridiculousness, but like John Cena is fantastic. There's a little bit of Eastbound and Down. I don't know if you watched that show back in the day.
Yeah. Big fan.
There's a little bit of Eastbound and Down type of feel to some of Peacemaker. It's outstanding, Jeffrey. Outstanding. It's my favorite thing that James Gunn does is Peacemaker.
Man, I hate having to wait for a show that drops every week.
Yeah, it's an archaic model.
1, 2. Like this Task show is ugh.
Oh, they're doing it week by week. They're not like
That's no fun, man.
Yeah.
I just want to knock it out, you know. When does that Rabbit show come out?
I believe it's already out, isn't it?
Is it?
I thought it was. I mean, I could be wrong. I've only seen the trailer.
Dude, Bateman is hilarious.
Dude, he's great.
Arrested Development.
He's one of the better straight men too. Like he can be in an ensemble where everybody else is ridiculous, and he's like the voice of reason, but he's still hilarious. Yep, you got it, Jeffrey. They haven't announced. They have. It's a pretty wild concept.
That's the show?
Well, Peacemaker is managed to go into another dimension where his reality is more acceptable to him in some ways because his other one turned to shit, kind of.
I'm going to have to watch this. That sounds kind of interesting. What's it about again?
Well, Peacemaker?
Yeah, that's it. It's
a
comic
superhero
one,
named
right?
Chris Smith, who was his dad designed him basically to be a weapon and his dad's a severe racist. It's there's a lot of layers, Brad. There's a lot of layers. But his dude
does he have superpowers?
No. He's a trained killer with anything, and his dad made all these helmets for him that do different things.
Okay.
And he has a pet eagle named Eagly.
Do the helmets have superpowers?
Yes, the helmet can give him powers, but he doesn't have powers.
I can't do that.
But Vigilante doesn't have powers, and Vigilante kicks ass, brother. Vigilante's one of my favorite people.
I can't do the superpower stuff,
know.
man.
I know. I'm not asking you to. Look, dude, it's a journey, and you have to be prepared for the ridiculousness. But if you're prepared for the ridiculousness, it's there for you. There's so much ridiculousness in that show.
That's
Even
why
the hair metal.
that's why I could do Penguin.
Yeah, it's based in reality. It's gritty. No, I'm with you. Well, I don't want to ask you to suspend your belief, but it's.
I mean, I could give it a shot, but you said it is ridiculous, though.
Oh, it's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. It's deliciously ridiculous is how I'd explain it.
But you could deliciously ridiculous. Okay.
Deliciously
all right.
ridiculous.
What channel is that on?
It's HBO Max.
It's the DC version of The Boys. Well,
I didn't like The Boys, but The Boys is phenomenal, man.
I know you think it's phenomenal, but once again,
all the awards.
That's the difference. But you love comics.
Yeah. That's true.
That was never my thing, so I can't get.
I never read The Boys though. I found it on Amazon and I was in.
No, but it's like it's like what? It's kind of like it's like a shock reality of like these.
Oh, what if superheroes were
real people?
Corporations ran everything, and
yeah,
it's a more accurate version of what would happen if there actually were superheroes.
Yeah, and I get that. It's like I have to, in order to get there, you have to enter somewhere else in the
Mm-hmm.
in the superhero world.
Like one day when you run out of things to watch, just put it on and give it a shot.
Yeah.
When that day comes.
Yeah, I mean, I won't say it wasn't entertaining. I watched like an episode or two, but I wasn't like, I got to come back to this. You know what I mean? But I will at some point. I'm actually. Is that or the Peacemaker better?
What, Boys or Peacemaker? You're asking me, making me make that decision?
Yeah.
Holy shit. The Boys for me so far, but we're only into season 2 of Peacemaker. I've had 4 seasons of The Boys and have seen the most ridiculous nonsense. I love Billy Butcher. There's so many characters in The Boys. I don't know, man. I love both my children. I'm not going to pick.
Okay. What's my name again? The wrestler?
Gunther.
All right, we're going to get out of here. There's my Gunther again. If I want to scare people.
You got me at the end there, man. That one took me down.
Gunther. All right. Appreciate you guys watching All Eyes on Cleveland. Please, if you have not done so, please get over to Browns Film Breakdown and subscribe. It is worth it. It is worth it to subscribe to the why is it escaping me? The Founders channel, which you get in the Slack with the everybody, and it's just even just the base plan where you can see all the film and get in the regular chat. I mean, but just there's so many levels of it.
Of the podcast.
Yeah, the no ads on the podcast. You get the full version. You get the everything. But I mean, let's really talk about what the main attraction for this. And there's a lot of perks to it. But the main attraction to Browns Film Breakdown is Jake's ability to teach you football. Yep. Like you watch your favorite team in a way and understand it and comprehend it in a way that you never will have before. Mm-hmm. And it allows you to see the game and then form your own opinion, you know what I mean, based off of what's real. You know what I mean? Like, he's not telling you how to think about things, but he's just giving you the football 101 of every play, and you can make the decisions on what you feel about the player, the decision, the coaching. there's podcasts every night that, I'm a part of a lot of times, but, it's his knowledge, though, drives this channel, and it's a great, Case is in there now. It's a great community to be a part of.
It's an invaluable asset that you will not get anywhere else. Not in
Right.
this market. Not for that. If you're a fan of the Cleveland Browns and you want to understand football at a deeper level and understand the nuances, the things that go on between the snaps, the things that you don't see on the TV copy, that you'll never see on the TV copy.
Never.
You know what I mean? And it just gives you a better grasp of what's actually happening on the field on Sundays.
100% worth it. Do it now. Thank you for watching All Eyes on Cleveland. Casey Kinnamon, fantastic as always. And we'll have this to you soon where you can get the audio side of this. We're in a little bit of flux right now on where to get the audio copy of All Eyes on Cleveland, but we'll have an answer to you very soon. Until then, tell your friends to come to Browns Film Breakdown YouTube and watch it. All right? All right? For Casey Kinnamon, my name is Brad Ward. Thank you for watching. We are out.